What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Hit the Books Season 4, Episode 23, our Super Bowl 59 episode. We have Super Bowl Sunday approaching us. We have me, Ace, Haas, and longtime listener Abik joining us to go over the Super Bowl this week, or this Sunday, I should say. No Mackie, no Jesse, both off this week. They should both be back for the live stream on Sunday before the game, so make sure you're staying tuned for that. We'll give all of our official plays Sunday around 9:30, 10 a.m. Make sure you're staying tuned for when we're going live there. But Ace, I'll hand things off over to you. Super Bowl's this Sunday, NBA trade deadline, lots going on in the sports world. How are we feeling about it?
Yeah, hyped up here. We all knew this was going to be the spot we were in. Patrick Mahomes back to his third straight Super Bowl, looking for the first three-peat in NFL history, I believe. And we have Abik Patel here, longtime listener, found that lucky ticket in his Wonka bar so he could be online with us today. We got Haas in the Ravens room. I don't see any Chiefs gear in there, but there might as well be with the way that they own the Ravens. And I'm ready to get talking another week here. The basketball world is in full swing. Some great trades. We see Luca Doncic get dealt to the Lakers, so that's some great news there. NHL's firing all cylinders before the Four Nations tournament kicks off. And, we're cashing picks on the NCAA basketball plays. But I am excited to get going. Super Bowl Sunday just around the corner. Let's get going this week, boys.
Haas, how about you? How are we feeling headed into Super Bowl Sunday?
Honestly, I feel like it's been great not having to talk to you guys about football for a few weeks. So definitely haven't been missing that at all. I mean, I'm excited to get into this game, I guess, because it's going to be over soon, and I can't wait for next season on to 2026, 2025, 2026 anyway. Really excited to obviously get the Super Bowl over with and get ready to watch some good hockey.
Abik, how are we feeling heading into Super Bowl Sunday? Chiefs, Eagles, like I said, a lot going on in the NBA. What have you been up to recently?
Nothing much. Just been cashing a lot of bets courtesy of you guys, and for the first time in my life, I'm going to be rooting for the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. But
Alrighty. So, all right.
yeah,
Have
go
a great
Birds.
night, guys. That's it. That's the whole podcast.
I like it. We'll get right into the game. Obviously, like I said, Super Bowl 59 Sunday, Chiefs versus Eagles. At Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. We'll take a look here at our final spread and total in the NFL game of the season or the calendar year. So like I said, the Chiefs are a 1.5 point favorite. Over under is at 48.5. Chiefs money line is minus 120. Eagles plus 100. I could be wrong. I feel like this is a very similar line to what we had when these two teams played each other in the Super Bowl last time. I believe the Eagles were a 1.5 point favorites, and now this time around the Chiefs get the 1.5 point edge here. Ace, you've been backing these Chiefs all playoffs, all regular season, saying they were going to be in this spot. Will they get the job done on Sunday?
And they will. They definitely will. I have my ticket sitting on the fridge behind me from September, August. I mean, I've been waiting to cash that one. The odds weren't that great then, but they're looking a lot better today now that they're sitting at favorites as negative on that money line there. But it's just another generous spread. I like to compare this to the Patriots dynasty because the Chiefs like to win just as much as they do. Patrick Mahomes learned by being beat by Tom Brady in that Bill Belichick dynasty, and now him and Andy Reid are in the same spot again. Let's not leave out Steve Spagnuolo as well. But whenever you see the best quarterback in the league, the best coach in the league, and the strongest defense with only a 1 point spread, that's a very generous line. I'm going to be slamming that one come Sunday. You will definitely see it on my card. It's just how long until these people learn? The bankroll you could have made throughout these playoffs against the Bills, against the Texans, whoever you want it to be, but getting very generous lines on these Chiefs. I'm right there with them again this week. The Swifties are going to be going crazy. My girl Taylor Swift is going to be up in the stands. I've been loving all this talk and the questions we've been seeing leading up to the week. But I'm on the Chiefs on the money line here. We'll dive into my exact predictions of the game as we get more through it. But for the money line standpoint, yeah, I'm on the Chiefs there. Love that it's less than a field goal given to them. Huff, what are you thinking?
Oh, well, I was going to touch on a couple of these trends. You just kind of alluded to one of them. So Kansas City is 7-0 against the spread in the playoffs, and the spread is less than 3. So they've kind of controlled these very close pick'em games, obviously throughout their Mahomes era over there in Kansas City. But Haas, how are you feeling about this game on Sunday? Who you think's gonna lift that Lombardi?
Who do I think or who do I want?
Both.
It's probably gonna be two different things. I mean, I'd love to say that I'm going green like a beak over here, back from the 1920s football era, but I really think that it's going to be Chiefs football. I mean, Alex alluded to it a little bit earlier. It has a lot of these dynasty teams anyway are very similar in that they know how to get the job done. They're in their window and they're cashing every single time they're there. It's not like, oh well, we lost this one, we were there, but we couldn't get the job done. Like, they always win. Yeah, it's close to not blowing teams out all the time, but I mean, I guess against Brady, they lost against Brady, but then they went on that huge run, and they're still on it now. So I mean, while they're in their time, I was once taught by a great wise man that you always bet with the streak because then you only lose once. I think I'm going to keep rocking with that today. I'm going to be going all red per usual. But yeah, unfortunately, give me the Chiefs, give me Travis Kelce, give me Patrick Mahomes, all happy. He's going to be in GOAT talk, so I hope that guy over there with the Rhode Island Rams hat and the Tom Brady jersey in the closet gets ready.
Hey, don't even need to be worried about it. I mean, Brady.
This is
beat
something
him
Brady
in-
hasn't done.
He beat him in Arrowhead. He beat him in the Super Bowl. Sunned him enough times to keep him out of the conversation. Head-to-head matchups, but we'll leave it at that.
All I'm hearing is Huff is that like I'm worried. Like I hope that.
All I know is that there should be a
yeah.
15 red jersey over that purple one sitting behind you because Patrick Mahomes is there once again, and his little brothers Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow will be at home watching.
Yeah.
I will say this
How
about
mad is
this
he?
game.
Huff?
I'll give
not
my
want
take
that
on this game. It's
opportunity.
very similar to what Haas said. I do want to see the Eagles win. Crazy for me to say as a Pittsburgh fan, I'm rooting for a Philadelphia team, but the Steelers and Eagles are the one kind of the Phillies and Pirates the same way. It's really just hockey that we have a rivalry. At least
Yeah.
I feel like the two cities don't obviously like each other, but
Different conferences. too.
Pittsburgh and Philly are different conferences in the NFL. The Eagles have never really been too much of a threat to my Steelers. If we ever get to a point where they play in a Super Bowl, God be it, I'll deal with it that day. But this time, I am rooting for the Eagles here. I think the Chiefs are very well likely have a great chance to win this game. You have the best quarterback, one of, if not ever, come by the end of his career. We'll have to see. We'll make that conversation later on down the road. But I think the Chiefs have all the pieces they need to do the three-peat, but this is going to be their toughest test. They played a very tough Buffalo Bills team in that AFC Championship, a close matchup there. This Eagles defense is a lot better than that Buffalo Bills team. I like the Eagles to be able to get to Mahomes, cause some pressure. I actually think it's going to be a little bit lower scoring of a game. I lean on this under 48.5. I've been looking at the total. I was expecting it to move a little bit, but the reason, obviously, the last time these two teams played each other, the Eagles had the big lead at halftime. Chiefs come around, turn it around, and win the game. So the Eagles have had the lead at halftime in 13 of their last 15 games and led Kansas City by 10 in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, like I said. And also another interesting one, dogs have covered in 13 of the last 17 Super Bowls. In this case, that would be the Eagles plus the 1.5. So I could see this game go both ways. That's why it's a 1.5 point spread. This is kind of how you want to see it. I'm leaning on the Chiefs to win the game. I'm rooting for the Eagles. Abik, let us know how you're feeling coming into Super Bowl Sunday.
So I've been feeling the Eagles since I want to say November time point. They had the stout defense, Saquon Barkley running for 200 yards, hurdling people. And I just think that this Eagles team has what it takes to beat and end the dynasty talks. They have the defense to stifle Mahomes. They got Saquon Barkley that can run all over defenses. And another thing I noticed is if James Cook and Joe Mixon could run for 100-plus yards with significantly worse offensive lines than what Philadelphia has, then what is Philadelphia about to do to Kansas City this year? It's going to be a close game. Would it surprise me if Kansas City won? No, not at all. But it's going to come down to the last possession, and whoever has the ball is going to win this game.
So either team can win is really the take that we have here.
Yeah, with the 1 point spread, that's what they're telling you. And Abik is like the rest of America here. They've been back in the Lions. They've been back in the Bills. And they're going to be in tears once again when the Philadelphia Eagles lose to Patrick Mahomes and you see Taylor Swift getting proposed to on the field afterwards. But Abik talked about Abik talked about the trenches and this one being an important factor in the game. I want to flip it a little bit. The trenches on the other side of the ball is a great matchup to watch. We know Steve Spagnuolo loves to dial up the blitz, and we know how much that Philadelphia Eagles offensive line thrives and is the beating soul of this team. They open up holes for Saquon Barkley. They get the tush push going. I know there's no more Jason Kelce, but they have all the bodies there. Then on the other side, will the pass rush for the Eagles be able to be as disruptive to be able to get through? Jalen Carter had his way in the NFC playoffs, but against that strong one, they have Joe Tooney going for his 5th Super Bowl ring. He had 2 with my Patriots, 2 with the Chiefs. They have some great guys on that O-line as well. The scheme's going to be strong. And another stat I want to bring up, Huff bringing up some good trends. Patrick Mahomes, I believe he's 13-0 in domes in his career. So that's going to be something interesting to follow. And also the white jersey theory, a big Super Bowl thing going into here. The Chiefs will be in their white jerseys, and we know those teams like
16 of the last 20 wearing white have won.
Yeah, I mean, that's just another great stat to throw on to the Chiefs.
Weren't they wearing red
bandwagon.
last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
Doesn't
the
matter
Patrick
what the hell
Mahomes.
they wear. It's Patrick Mahomes. He's inevitable. Like I
Yeah,
like
they
the,
could-
like
I
I
was gonna
said,
say
like,
the Chiefs could break out a brand new uniform for the
Yeah,
Super Bowl. I don't think it would fit.
yeah,
But
like I said, honestly, like I like that's my thing is like I really wish I could say like yeah, like Abik, you bring up a lot of great points. Like I'd love to have faith in this Eagles defense. Excuse me. Obviously, they have a lot of good things going right now. Saquon Barkley, unbelievable. You know, I'm going to be putting him on my card multiple times. And I'd love to see him go off, but how much can he really do? You know what I mean? He's a running back. Like
Chris Jones
even
and
just-
Spags are going to be ready to neutralize him. They're going to make him beat you through the air with the weapons that they do have, though. Goddard, Brown, Smith.
Yeah, but Jalen Hurts though, like Jalen Hurts, like we've said it so many times on this podcast on Sunday. Like, is he gonna be loose with the football? Is he gonna be able to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field? Like, you're gonna have that offense run through.
What do you have?
Saquon
2
Barkley.
fumbles in the last matchup in the Super Bowl between these teams?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't have
Costly
that.
one to, I believe, Nick Bolton.
Yeah.
Yeah, cannot have that. And really, like this is a team that we've said it so many times. This is a team that knows how to win. And when you get to these big games, you can't have those mishaps happen. And it seems to always that ball seems to always bounce the same way for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Like my wife always says, every time we put on the Chiefs for some reason, something insane happens, and then the ball ends up going to Mahomes late in the game. And like you guys said, the spread's 1 point. It's basically a pick 'em. And in those pick 'em games, you got to go with the guy that always gets the call, always gets the ball in the right time. And like I said, it's inevitable. It's sad. I really didn't want the Super Bowl matchup to come to fruition, but here we are once again.
Two of
Eagles,
the best
Chiefs.
teams, though. This Eagles
Yeah,
team
it's gonna be
on
a great game.
this Eagles team on paper is one of the most super rosters you can build in the NFL, from top to bottom. The rookies even stepping up. The secondary they were able to put together. That's going to be an interesting matchup. We talked about that pass rush a little bit earlier from the Eagles having to show up, but will guys like Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, I believe Reed Blankenship
What's he
back
doing?
there. They're all going to be ready to go this week, and they have a lot of matchups to match up with. They have Juju Smith-Schuster coming back to life. DeAndre Hopkins was a good ad. Xavier Worthy, the first-round pick for the Chiefs, is turning into a stud, and the connection between Mahomes and him has only flourished in the past few weeks, especially come playoff time. But then the matchup over the middle of the field is something to watch. Do they have the linebackers that can really contain Kelsey? I don't think so. They have a very good second-string tight end in Noah Gray, who's really jumped onto the scene this year. And then you have Pacheco, who's kind of been held in check this playoff run, but I feel like he's going to be ready to go 2 weeks off. Kareem Hunt, Huff.
Your boy's going to get in.
Yeah, he hit on his first touchdown. He should have doubled down and ran it back the same week because he did it 2 weeks in a row, I believe. But he's going to be in the mix too. There's a lot of mouths to feed. And then on the other side, like I said before, I mean, you have Brown and Smith. That's going to help out. You have Barkley. You have Goddard. It just hurts. Will he be able to play that turnover-free football? And I'm going to give the coaching edge to the Chiefs once again. A lot of people, remember, Huff, how long ago was it? People were calling for Sirianni's head like a year ago.
this season.
Yeah,
No,
this
this guy out when he was chirping the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, in their coordinators, they had a big change in coordinators this offseason too. Meanwhile, Spagnuolo and Reed have been stable forces for Kansas City.
I will say this. You two are Haas and Ace. You guys are giving the Eagles not as much credit as I think they do deserve. Ace, you've said that. I mean, the best roster you can build on paper, at least what it looks like. But would you be surprised if Mahomes loses this game?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
See, I wouldn't be. I think this Eagles team is good. I think they're better than the 49ers team he played last year.
Doesn't matter.
No, I don't know about that defense being better, though. Throughout the middle of the field,
The offense
last
is
year,
10 times better.
you know, it was a big miss last year for the Niners with losing Greenlaw partway through the game that allowed the Chiefs to open up the run game a little bit more, allowed them to work the middle of the field. And they had a guy named Fred Warner that was rovering the field, able to match up with Kelsey. Who in that middle linebacker position is going to be able to match up with
It's going to have to be Bond.
Yeah, it's going to be Zach Bond.
Zach Bond.
I don't think he can. I don't think he's good enough. We saw Matt Milano step up a bit last week, but he's nowhere near the Matt Milano caliber either. I know that Bond had a great year and strong tackle leader and whatnot, but he is not strong enough.
He's up for Defensive Player of the Year. I did not know that.
Yeah, I saw he had a strong season this year under the Eagles, but it also helps when you have the rest of that defense playing well.
Yeah, someone's got to shine there.
That Georgia front seven. I mean, the outside too. It's like a blanket. It's tough to throw against this team too. But we know how Mahomes can extend the plays with his feet and how smart he is at the line of scrimmage. One thing that we're going to have to watch as well is Mahomes running a lot. When the going gets tough, Mahomes is one of the most efficient runners in the NFL at the quarterback position. He might not be as flashy as Jaden Daniels or Lamar Jackson or even Josh Allen, but he always knows where the sticks are and he knows when to get to them. a game.
Yeah,
One
but
more,
like you
one
said,
more
I mean,
spot. One more spot. I'm going to give the nod to the Chiefs too. I think they have the nod in the kicking game as well. Jake Elliott been a little so-so this year, and we know Harrison Butker, regardless of his political stances and the things he says off the field, he is very strong, one of the best legs in the league, and he's fully healthy now too. So I'm going to give them the nod there as well.
Yeah, I've was trying to find this stat. I saw Jalen Hurts stat the other day. I think it was his last 7 playoff games. Obviously, he's only played in 8, so that one is rookie. I think it was his rookie year or whatever, his first playoff game. He had 2 interceptions. Since then, 7 games played. Let's see, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. Obviously, that's not including the rushing touchdowns, but so I mean, he's played conservative ball in the playoffs in his career. Save that first game. I don't even remember who that was against in 2021, but since that Super Bowl run in 22, last year, obviously he lost to the Bucs in the first round, but I just think this Eagles team has the roster. The one edge that I think is obviously other than Mahomes in the quarterback position that the Chiefs get is coaching. I just think Andy Reid will have the team ready. I don't think they'll let Barkley go for 100, 120, but
Spagnuolo is one of the best defensive minds in the league.
I was just going to say, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, it takes him to break 1. So as far as betting that prop, it takes him to break 1 to get that number. I think they will have a decent chance of containing him. You can't stop him. I think that opens up the run a lot for Jalen Hurts. I actually like a lot of the props for the Eagles receivers. We'll get into those in a little bit because I think they're going to be forced to pass the ball. But real quick, before we kind of give score predictions and stuff like that, over under 48.5, gun to your head, you had to bet it.
Over.
over.
And then I'm gonna go with the first half under, and it's gonna blow up in the second half.
I
With some big
like
plays.
that. I
think it starts slow. It starts close to the vest, a lot of field goals, especially for the Chiefs side. Chiefs and Eagles. I know the Eagles like to go with that tush push, but they're not like these new era teams that like to go for it in bad spots. They're coached very well, especially the Chiefs. They will punt the ball when they have to and trust that defense led by Chris Jones. Especially one thing I want to shout out for this Chiefs defense too. I mean, there's a lot of unsung heroes. Doesn't seem like every week you're just like, who the hell is that guy that just got a sack? Somebody will always step up. Like I said before, reminiscent of the Patriots defense. They're all playing great under a great defensive coordinator. Everybody steps up, does their job, no matter who you are, top of the roster, bottom of the roster. So anybody can go. But I've got the over. Pop it off late here. Too much talent on both sides of the ball for it to stay under 50 points. Hoss, what are you thinking for a total score?
Yeah, honestly, I'm liking the over 2 in this one, and I think if it goes over, I don't think the game's going to be going the same way you Eagles fans really expect it to. Like, that defense is going to be playing well, but like I said, there's a lot of different ways that the Chiefs can beat you. Could you imagine if we see vintage Mahomes, he's just airing that thing out? Like you guys said, like, he has the weapons. Like this, like, and I do think, and I've said it before in the podcast, I think this is the weakest Chiefs team that we've seen, but I also don't think that they've been doing everything they can in terms of really airing that ball out, letting Mahomes go crazy, and seeing what those wide receivers can do. They have a lot of athletes on that side of the ball and a lot of track stars too. One name you guys forgot to mention, Hollywood Brown. When you go late into these playoff rounds, you're going to see guys that really haven't contributed too much yet. So I'd expect to see a touchdown from Noah Gray, Juju Smith-Schuster, Hollywood Brown. One of those guys is going to have a pretty big catch, and I really would like to see my boy Hollywood kind of get one. That's going to be one of the things I root for is see that one Hollywood play. Like he goes like 2 for like 96 and a touchdown with a long of like 56 or something, a crazy long touchdown. So that's the one thing I'd really like to see. But like I said, I mean, no matter how we hash it out, and you guys keep saying it too, if this game goes over, it's not going to be an Eagles win. This Eagles team, obviously, they can put up points. They can hang with these teams just because they have all that prolific star power. But that defense really needs to lock down, keep Mahomes in check, keep Kelsey in check, not let everything get too crazy, force them to go 3 and out, force them to take 3, and they capitalize when they can. So if you guys are thinking the over, then you might as well take the Chiefs too.
A beak, Hoss and I in Rhode Island, our Rhode Island correspondents, both on the over in this Super Bowl of 48.5. Thinking it starts slow and blows up late with some big touchdowns. Hoff, what are you looking at for a total and then a beak? Let's hear it.
I like the under. I think 48.5, obviously, 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls have gone the under. Usually it's a game where you play a little bit closer to the vest. Kind of like Ace said, it starts out slower. Second half, they got to start slinging it. Their season's on the line. You might see some broken plays, some bigger plays lead to points scored there. But that one Super Bowl that went over in the last 4 out of 5 was the Eagles-Chiefs 2 years ago, combining for the second most points ever in a Super Bowl. Obviously, these rosters are better, if not, I would say better than they were 2 years ago, especially for the Eagles. The Chiefs They kind of just
Just kinda
reload it, like
same.
similar to what your Patriots used to do. But
Retool.
I like the under. I think it's going to be very close. I don't know. Like I said, I think the Chiefs win the game. I want the Eagles. I could see either way go 26-20,
Oh, so you're right
26-21.
there.
Yeah, like right there.
Yeah, one thing I do want to shout out though, Hoff, you brought up that point, the last over being in the matchup that we saw of this one that's current. It was the Eagles and the Chiefs. If the game stayed to script and Jalen Hurts was not loose with the football, the Eagles' script is to run a lot of clock off. That's when they're at their best football. When
Yeah.
they have those long, taxing drives. When they have time of possession heavily in their favor.
Fourth
If they
down
can-
conversions mixed in there.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if there was no turnovers from Hurts last time or some big plays by that Chiefs defense, then it probably would have stayed under and they probably would have controlled the pace of the game and gone on to win. So if you are on the Eagles here, you should be thinking under. But like we said before, a lot of firepower where anybody can score in any given play. Abik, let us know what you think about this over and under. It's sitting at 48.5.
So I'm going to say this is going to be an under game all season. Both defenses have been one of the stronger defenses. And honestly, if we look up the top 10 defenses in the league this season, I'm sure both of them were probably both in the top 10. I think Philly was number 1, right? So I definitely think that both defenses will be able to lock down and keep all the playmakers under check. I'm going to say the final score is going to be somewhere like 26-21 or 26-20. Where it's a last second touchdown from either team or a turnover on downs, but I think both defenses are going to lock up and keep the scoring to a minimum.
26-20 hits the over, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. 48.
48.5.
Oh, 48.
I'm starting to think now it could be like a 21-20 game. Chiefs have the ball at the end. They get the touchdown to win it.
34-27 Chiefs.
So you're going pretty like clears the over.
Yeah, but like I said, it's gonna pop off late with some big touchdowns late.
Yeah.
I think there's some field goals early on, and then some long ones.
Definitely a
All right.
defensive score too. That's going to be one of my bigger things too. I definitely think the defense is going to show up for one of those sides of the ball is going to get a pick six or something. I really think they're going to see that in this game.
Yeah, speaking of the points scored, let's move into our favorite touchdown scores and player props for this Super Bowl, starting with our favorite anytime touchdowns, first touchdowns, anyone even sprinkling a 2+. Obviously, that's been a popular bet for Saquon this year. Then we can move into we'll touch on the touchdowns and we'll move into any player props we have our eyes on. So who wants to start out their favorite anytime touchdown scores?
Travis
59.
Kelce is getting in the end zone. Is Taylor Swift going to be in the stands? Oh, yeah. Travis Kelce is finding pay dirt. He's going to have a monumental day, be an important factor. They're going to force feed him the ball, and they will not have an answer for 87. Expect to see Taylor Swift on your screen. That is my favorite play. And Huff, you know what else I'm going to run back? We've been doing it all playoffs long. Is you got to have Barkley and Hurts on your card. You're definitely going to hit one. You will probably hit both. And I like those three. Those are my three favorites. If I add some other ones, I'll let you guys go with your favorites first. But I have some others in my mind that I think will find the end zone as well. But Kelce and then Hurts and Barkley.
Oh, so you want to go?
Yeah, sure. I honestly and I'm surprised, Alex, that you're going to be saying this one, but give me Pat Mahomes to score a touchdown. Like you said, once you get into that red zone, he's smart with his feet, smart
You
with the
called
ball.
that one last week, and he went for 2+.
Yeah, that's why. I really think he's going to be able to get it again, just because, like you said, down near the goal line, you have to worry about so many different things. You have those running backs that can get in. You have Travis Kelce. You have all those wide receivers. I think Pat Mahomes just gets in because he does.
Desperation Mahomes.
I think look it up on the last Super Bowl, Huff. I think he scored last time.
And he's
That's
one of
what
the
I'm
most
I'll fact check that. Give me 1 second.
He's one of the most desperate players too. He will put his body on the line. We saw it against the Bills last week. Usually a very heady runner who avoids contact, gets out of bounds.
He'll take it and get into the end zone.
Last week was one of the first times I've seen him lower his shoulder and truck a defender into the end zone in a very long time. They usually like to keep their franchise guy out of harm's way, but he knows every yard, every point matters in this one. I could see that too, Haas.
He did
I'm
not.
surprised you didn't say that, honestly. He
did
didn't score
not.
last time?
No, last time Hurts got the first touchdown and Kelce got the first for the Chiefs. I remember that like the back of my hand because I hit on Hurts first and then Kelce first team. Then it was Brown, Chiefs defense, Hurts, Pacheco, Kadarius Toney. A lot of people forget that name. Sky Moore. There's your random Chiefs depth player that scores in the Super Bowl. And Jalen Hurts again. Jalen Hurts had 3 rushing touchdowns in the last Super Bowl.
Yeah, I love him. A little tush push, even though he doesn't call it the tush push. A beacon Huff, before you give your other takes here, one more that I do really, really like. and he's been jumping on the scene. I alluded to it earlier, is Xavier Worthy. They game plan the ball to him early and often. It can be through the air or on the ground. That guy is dynamite, and he's very tough to be covered. I expect these top-end corners to be matched up with some of the big dogs like D-Hop, maybe Juju or Hollywood Brown. But I think Xavier Worthy is uncoverable, and the way they scheme him, the ball is just unbeatable. Huff,
Especially in motion.
looking at.
You put him in motion too. Like how are you going to keep up with that like that?
He's on my list. So I have 4 that I really like in this game. 2 from each team. Ace, you said both of them. Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy. Kelce's best price right now is plus 145.
Love it.
Worthy is plus 163. All these prices that I'm saying, I looked these up. These are the best prices you can find for these touchdowns. Kelce plus 145. Xavier Worthy plus 163. Jalen Hurts minus 110. And A.J. Brown plus 175.
Yeah, A.J. Brown, very uncoverable too. Big body, gets in the end zone, the run after catch, the big play whenever they need it. I like those a lot, Huff. Those are good picks. And Devontae.
What is Saquon opening up at?
Best price was minus 185.
Ooh, damn. Wow. Yeah, definitely.
What was Hurts at, Huff?
Minus 110.
Oh, love that. Love that. The tush push is going to come out at one point. We know that's going to happen. If you can bet on.
And they always say, like, when the Eagles get down to the 2-yard line, there's a better chance they run the tush push back-to-back plays than run it in with Barkley.
Yeah, agreed. And why wouldn't they? Because they get at least 1 yard.
They get a yard every time.
And one bet to look at that I always see, and I never really take it, but in an Eagles game, it's a very good one, is shortest touchdown over under 1.5 yards. We take the under there. I think it's going to be a 1-yard touchdown this one.
I saw this game, it's set at 2.5.
Oh, so they know. They know it's going to come. That's scary. I don't like that at 2.5.
But it could be on the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
And you still cash on that.
That's even nicer for us, I'm saying.
Yeah, it helps you.
Yeah, it's a generous bet. Wow, I actually love that. And it's probably at minus odds, but
it's like minus 130. I saw it this morning.
Yeah, so that's a good one. Abik, who are you looking at to find Pater in this Super Bowl matchup?
So my favorites are more along with yours. So definitely Jack and Kelsey. One of the speedsters, Worthy, Hurts, Barkley. Hurts and Barkley have been auto for me the last few weeks. A really sneaky play I saw for a touchdown score is DeAndre Hopkins, plus 600. I noticed that last week. It's worth a shot to take on a cheap 1-yard fade. And DraftKings, they count Kansas City defensive special teams together. But it would not surprise me if the punt returner from last week, I forgot his name, but that really funky name, houses one next on a punt return this week.
He looked great too. The way he stepped up. I know they signed him off his practice squad right before the game, but he was dynamite. I think he was stepping in for Mecole Hardman, who they had on the shelf last week. But that's just the Chiefs mantra. Anybody can step up and find one. But Abik, I wonder if you do send that ticket, definitely send it into the boys because the odds on that would be crazy. He might be listed under the any other player tab.
Yeah, honestly.
You can do the defense/special teams on MGM. I see here the best price for defense/special teams Kansas City is plus 650.
Yeah, that's a hammer.
Wow, Abik loves that one.
It happened. Nick Bolton got the fumble recovery in Super Bowl 55 against the Eagles.
Crazy things happen in Super Bowls, like in these Super Bowl games. So, like, I mean, I think that's great odds for something like that. To
honestly, both defenses hammered.
Plus 600 for Philly.
So you think
honestly?
I like the defense special teams bet even more than just the defensive touchdown too. I mean, the fact that you can get returns in there or craziness, blocked kicks and whatnot. I mean, if you play both and you hit on one, you're making good value.
Absolutely. And then, like I said, the first, I'm obviously, I love to bet the first touchdown. The one that I'm probably going to be going with here is Xavier Worthy, 12-1. I think that's great value there. A lot of people are going to be on Barkley first, Hurts first. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles score first. If I'm looking at an Eagles, maybe a first team, I like the value at taking. If you're going to do a first team both ways, I like Worthy and I like A.J. Brown. You get both at plus 650. I think that's great value. I love your chances to hit one of those. Obviously, I still think, like I said, Kelsey will get his. Hurts will get in. Last Super Bowl, I went with Hurts first touchdown and Kelsey first team, hit both. Or last Super Bowl between these two teams, I should say. But I'm looking at maybe Xavier Worthy, A.J. Brown. I like both of those guys first team. I'm leaning on the Xavier Worthy first touchdown, plus 1,200 or plus 650 both ways on the first team, whichever way you want to go there. But any player props, receptions, yards, anything you guys are looking at, I have a couple here that I have saved. I'll go first. These are the ones I was looking at. I kind of alluded to it earlier.
Real quick, before we get off the anytime touchdown scores, one question I have for the three of you. None of us said a Chiefs running back, and we know how much they like to
I have
establish
Hunt.
the run.
I have Hunt listed down here.
Hunt
And
or
Haas
Pacheco is my
talked me out of
question.
it. I think Mahomes could get a rushing touchdown. But I like Hunt more than Pacheco.
Yeah. All right. So if you had to pick one Chiefs running back, you'd go Hunt. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I know. And
I
Hunt's
probably
been
would,
the goal
I
line
probably
guy.
would take him first too. The way he's been scoring, he scored first the last 2 Chiefs games.
I feel like they've just been keeping Pacheco in their back pocket though, and this is the time they fully unleash him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hasn't looked the same since his injury, but he's got that talent to be able to do it. But Huff,
Yeah.
start us off with some of your props here. I'm excited to get into these as well.
Yeah, one of these we already kind of alluded to. Two I alluded to earlier with the Eagles passing game. I think they're going to make Jalen Hurts beat him with their arm. I think they have 2 good receivers that he's going to be able to do that with, or at least help his chances with. AJ Brown over 5.5 receptions, plus 125, and Devontae Smith over 4.5 receptions, plus 102. You get both those guys at plus money. I love that. Obviously, AJ needs 6, Devontae needs 5. I think you'll at least get one of those. I like both of them to hit. The third one is a Chiefs prop. Mahomes over 5.5 rushing attempts. I absolutely love that play.
I love all 3 of those, and I think you're right there with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith have them being involved early and often, especially if there's a chance where they're playing behind her in a competitive matchup. I think that they'll have to continue to throw
That's
the ball.
that's the other spin zone I had. I was like, if they go down, they're not going to just keep running it with Barkley and killing time.
Yeah, those are their guys they're going to go to, and he likes to find them early and often. There's no other third receiver that really jumps onto the scene either to steal your targets. One that you didn't mention that's obviously an automatic that you'll see on my card, Travis Kelce. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the receptions, the yards, and the touchdowns. At 6.5 catches on FanDuel, he's sitting at plus 134. I love that right there. If you want to do the
What would
trifecta,
5.5 be? Like minus 110 probably?
let's see if they have this line listed anywhere. Yeah, no one really does. Everything's sitting at plus. Oh, here it is, minus 150. About minus 150 on 5.5.
Damn. Yeah, I'd probably just take the chance on 6.5
Plus
and get it
134. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then with the receiving yards too. Guess what he's
It's too
sitting
much
at?
of an it's too much of an odds jump to do the 5.5.
I got him.
He's sitting at 60.5 receiving yards as his prop. That's so
Who's
low.
that?
I feel like Travis Kelce.
I got him for 62.
Especially if they're down at any point, you know where he's going to move the sticks.
Yeah.
If games get tough, especially with the way that they're able to clamp up on the outside with the that Eagles secondary, how prolific it is with those young guys. They're going to have to go over the middle of Kelce. They're going to find them. I think they're going to get him some trick plays as well. So 6.5 is my favorite one there. I like the Saquon Barkley combined yardage prop. I think that he's going to go over once again. You don't get that guy and then not give him the ball in the Super Bowl, especially if there's if they win, he's going to have a good game. It's 125.5 rushing plus receiving yards. I know that seems astronomical, but you don't bring in that guy, get all the way to the Super Bowl, and then put him in the
stop
back
using
seat.
him. Yeah.
He's going to get a bunch of looks, so he's going to look to get that. Another one that I've been looking at throughout the playoffs, and it's a very low prop each week, is Noah Gray at plus 115 on 1.5 receptions. I love that one there. Like I said, it's going to be tough to work the ball on the outside with these good corners, so they're going to have to work it to their tight ends. And if all the eyes are looking at Kelce, then Noah Gray only needs 2 catches to cash a plus 115. Love that. Looking at the worthy yardage prop, 2 rushing plus receiving, like Haas said, they like to get him in motion, use him out of the backfield and whatnot. So that'll be something I would see. And I like the Hurts props you alluded to earlier. Beak, I know you've been locked in on some of these props. What are some of your favorites that we may have not mentioned?
So I see that I got a Saquon Barkley to have a 50-plus longest yard rush. All that's going to take is a one house call, and you cash that for plus 350. I also have been eyeing. This is more of a sneaky prop that it's probably not going to hit, but over 2.5 people to throw a pass. Both teams have trick plays in their books, so it can happen, and you can get it for good odds too. It opened at plus 200, I want to say, 2 weeks ago.
Anything else you're looking at, Beak?
Not currently, but I'm sure it'll pop up. But those 2 have been the ones I've looked at first. And then another one was Travis Kelce to have 4 receptions in each half. That's that's a sneaky one too.
What are the odds on that?
That's plus 450. Oh wait,
Wow.
Hold on. No, 500. Sorry, 500.
Wow, that's some good value. Love to see it. Haas, any specialized props you're looking at? I know you're a big Mahomes rushing guy, but anything else you're thinking of?
Yeah, that rushing prop, I think it's sitting at somewhere around like 25, 28. I was actually just looking for that right now. Definitely going to be taking that. Definitely going to be taking the touchdown, like I said before. Like you said, Noah Gray, I actually really like to see him get his receptions. Travis Kelce, and then, like I said, I'd really like to see what the Hollywood Brown receiving yards are at, because I'm definitely going to be taking that. I think Xavier Worthy's sitting somewhere around 80 for receiving yards, but I definitely like him to score. I don't know necessarily if he's going to get 80 yards, but I definitely like him to score. I think Quinyon Mitchell's going to be a tough matchup for him on the outside.
Plus, Xavier Worthy rushing plus receiving prop is at 61.5.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I like that.
his receiving yards are 53.5.
Oh, that's actually not bad at all. Maybe it was.
I would do the rushing plus receiving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
that's not bad at all. Actually,
Any thoughts, guys, on Juju Smith-Schuster? He seemed to become a blanket for a security blanket for Patrick Mahomes. He won't have many eyes on him, and his yardage prop is sitting at 15.5. You can get that in one play.
Yeah, I think he could get that.
Yeah, one of the old guys.
What's the Hollywood Brown receiving yards?
Hollywood Brown receiving yards sitting at 42.5.
That's a weird number.
I got
3.5 receptions. Yeah, I'm not too sold on Hollywood Brown. I really like Juju Smith-Schuster. I like the combine for Xavier Worthy, and I like Travis Kelce and Noah Gray as well. You got to think at some point, he hasn't been getting going all playoffs long. Does anybody have any faith in DeAndre Hopkins, a name we haven't mentioned? His receiving yardage prop, hear me out, 10.5 yards.
Yeah.
Minus 110.
That's, I don't know.
Under. Give me the under on 10.5 for DeAndre Hopkins. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I'm not going to be taking any of that.
This is the perfect game for the old Grizzly vet to show up.
That's one catch, 10.5 yards. You don't think DeAndre Hopkins picks up a
slant.
first down?
Literally a slant. That's it.
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not going to be.
I guarantee at one point they're going to be like, that's DeAndre Hopkins, who the Chiefs brought in the middle of the season.
A 5th round pick.
Yep. Yeah. He's getting one reception. I bet you goes over 10.5 yards. I like his yardage prop, and I like Juju's yardage prop because it takes them only one catch to get it through. And Mahomes likes to spread the ball. Let's face it.
The worst part about those low yardage prop totals is you're waiting around for them to get it if they don't get it in the first half. And if he gets that one slant that's like 8 yards, you're going to be like, yep, that was it. That was his chance.
And he doesn't get it.
He definitely could get it on one play. But kind of now we've already obviously went through the spread, the total, who we have winning the game, who's scoring the touchdowns. When the game's over, the confetti's falling. Who's going to be your Super Bowl MVP?
It's got to be
Mahomes,
right?
Yeah.
Is there a chance that Travis Kelce has a double-digit receiving yardage day, a touchdown or two, gets the MVP, the Lombardi, and gets engaged with Taylor Swift on the same day?
I've gone through this. Here's what I think their stat lines would need to be for Kelce to get an MVP. Kelce, 2 touchdowns. It would have to start with 2 touchdowns.
10 catches.
7 catches for like 80 yards.
No, it's going to be over 100.
But Mahomes only has like 200 yards, and the 2 passing touchdowns were both to Kelce.
I think he'd have to be double-digit catches and triple-digit yardage with
it has to be
touchdowns.
It has to be similar to the Edelman stat line in
10 plus, 100 plus.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp did 8 receptions, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, and got the MVP.
It has to be like
that's
that.
because they were like playing like the dink and dunk football. I don't think it's gonna look like that. Like, even if it is, like, it's not like you're not like gonna take that.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I was just trying to give you guys a spin zone.
What about Jalen Hurts? Huff, you said last time he had 3 touchdowns himself. I mean, he's got to be the favorite to get it. Probably over Barkley, right?
No, actually, Barkley plus 240, Hurts plus 375.
Wow, that's crazy to me. I mean, what's Patrick Mahomes sitting at?
Plus 110.
Plus 105.
So if you're telling me you could throw a bet on both quarterbacks and be profitable either way if one wins.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
When's the last time a non-quarterback has won?
That's actually Ace. I might have to do that.
But it's only plus 105.
All right, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, but still, like, you're basically rooting for Hurts to get it.
It's very rare that
you have Mahomes fallback.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You'd have Hurts at plus 375, and Mahomes sitting there basically just to give you a free bet on Hurts.
But
you know what I mean?
Barkley's a scary one going up against Hurts at the same time, especially the usage they give him. And the way he's looked in these playoffs, if he goes over 200 and they end up winning the game, I bet you
they would give it to him. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially since he's not getting the MVP this year and could be in those conversations. But I think the quarterbacks are always tough to steal it from. I'm not a big MVP bettor for that reason.
Yeah. The last time I bet a Super Bowl MVP was Brady whenever the Bucks were in it. But
yeah, valid.
So another part that comes with the Super Bowl, the novelty props. We don't have to spend too much time on this. National anthem, coin toss, Gatorade bath, halftime show, all that stuff.
Which one's your favorite, you guys personally? Any of you bet on any of those?
The only one I've ever actually bet myself is the coin toss, and I'm 0 for 1 lifetime.
Yeah, I think I'm 0 for 1 as well. Abik's a big coin toss guy. He loves cashing it right
Coin,
away.
coin toss and the Gatorade always.
Abik, what do you Abik, what do you throw it on? What's your lock of the year on the heads or tails? Tell us right
Yep.
now.
Like I said on the Instagram post, tails never fails.
All right, tails for Abik.
So the coin toss trends: tails has won 30 times, heads 28. Tails has hit in 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls as of 2024, and the last team to win the coin toss and win the game was the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 48.
Teams so long ago.
Teams are currently on a 9-game losing streak after winning the coin toss.
Interesting. You live bet the spread right after that. But one thing you have to look at too is those weird coin flips. Remember the last few years? There's been some brutal flippers out there. So I know
Dude,
a lot of people get.
I think it was when I had it in the Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl. That was the last time I bet a coin toss, and I think
barely rotated.
I had whatever lost, and that was the worst coin toss I've ever seen in my life. They brought like some kid out to do it. I'm like, if I would have known this kid was going to be tossing the coin, I would not have bet money on this. Like, can we get a legit ref to do it?
Yeah, where it actually gets like at least 5
a few
rotations
turns.
in the air.
Yeah. I was so pissed about
Beak,
that.
you said you also like the Gatorade bet. A lot of people like that one. Haas, I think, is a big Gatorade guy too. You got
Love the Gatorade.
Red, it's got to be red Gatorade for the Chiefs, right?
No, it was purple last year. I think
It's almost never. It's almost never red.
It's been purple in the last 2 for the Chiefs. It's actually funny. I was looking at this today. I think it's plus 300 on purple. You gotta rock the purple again. If the Chiefs, they've done it 2 times in a row, they're gonna win again, and it's gonna be purple.
It's because purple's the best flavor, so you got to fill up.
So I have odds in the
clear liquid
colors listed here. Going Super Bowl 54 orange, Super Bowl 55 blue, Super Bowl 56 blue, 57 purple, and 58 orange last year. The odds here, you can find such different odds for this no matter where you look. So basically these are the odds that I came upon. I've seen them listed in such different orders, but these seem pretty accurate from what I've seen. Orange is the favorite, plus 250. Blue at plus 350. Yellow, green, plus 400. Red, plus 500. Purple, plus 700. And clear / water, plus 900. Purple last hit in 2023. Blue is very popular in recent years. Red, rarely used in the past. I think 15 years it hasn't really been used, but orange seems to be the most common choice across the board.
I thought purple. I thought when they won it last time,
what would you be going with?
That's crazy. I thought it was purple last time. I could have sworn that I took it at purple. But you definitely give me the purple on this one, especially with those odds. Purple Gatorade's the best flavor, like you said, Alex. I mean, I like it most anyway. Give me the purple, plus 400.
Yeah, I mean, yellow and orange are always in a lot of those containers too, but I feel like it's a weird year here. Maybe a clear liquid, like I've been saying. But I won't be
clear liquid would clean the books.
What?
I'm gonna go orange. A repeat for orange.
Yeah, I'm gonna go red. Like I said, red.
It's in Louisiana too, isn't it? It's in New Orleans.
Yeah, red.
Yeah.
Oh, so you like yellow?
Nah, red actually.
All right, we're spending too much on this. This is just a crapshoot.
Purple.
I think it's a fun one to bet.
We're just guessing Gatorade colors here. But yeah, that's gonna do it for Super Bowl 59 talk. Make sure you're staying tuned Sunday. Our live stream.
Great halftime show too. I don't know if you guys are excited for that one. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, Kendrick.
Us new era fans are happy for. All the old heads are definitely pissed about it. But I saw he was gonna bring out some big names too. Uzi maybe potentially.
I didn't see any of the rumors or anything like that.
Yeah, I heard he was going to be there. I don't know if that means he's singing or if he's just attending.
I saw Lil Wayne say he will not be there.
Yeah, but Kendrick Lamar is going to break out a few people. Got a lot of connections. Maybe Baby Keem. I think they're related too. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him out there. Also, a very cool stat too. President Trump will be the first sitting president to be attending the game too. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Last thing in the NFL before we move on from football is Browns defensive end Myles Garrett has informed the team that he's officially requesting a trade. Garrett said in his statement, the goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It is to win a Super Bowl. Where do you see being a good fit for Myles Garrett, and where do you think he will land?
First off, what a shot at the Browns.
Did you see the other thing he said today?
What?
Going somewhere with a quarterback that I can trust is a big part of my decision.
Yeah, so
let's go.
Come on down to New England.
Come to Baltimore.
You want to know something? Every rumored free agent trade target, I'm just going to say, is linked to the Patriots because we have all the assets and the money. And
you guys just have so much money to spend. You could overpay a guy like that.
And we have good trade assets.
He's also not a free agent. He's a trade. You just have to be able to trade for him.
and we can give up a lot with the assets we have. We have a backup quarterback we can throw you. I saw something like Joe Milton in a third. Like, yeah, have that any day of the week.
Yeah.
We got a valid coach now. We have a franchise quarterback. Anybody can come. Cooper Kupp.
Does he wanna
I'd
go
like my
play in New
Steelers to enter the
England?
conversation on Milton.
Yeah, I told you that
I
before.
wanted him when we drafted.
Remember that?
In the fourth
Remember
round.
that? You were like, no, I wouldn't take him. I was like, oh, I'll give you him in a heartbeat.
No, remember I told you. I said I'm gonna obviously give you shit about this, but yeah, I'd take one of those guys. They're
Oh, yeah.
young.
Would you like
Look
him
at the
over
jersey
Russell
hanging
Wilson?
up on the closet. Are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
Huh?
that guy. You got to take that one down.
No, he'll be here next year.
Sadly, right?
I mean, he's my guy. I'll take him.
Maybe Cooper Kupp to New England. I'll take anybody in New England, really. Hoss, I saw Cooper Kupp was rumored to the Ravens as well. Could you guys see Myles Garrett or TJ Watt? I know they less so Watt than I think Watt stays in Pittsburgh personally. But
I said that to you the other day. Since you said that, I've seen so many things and heard so many things on Pittsburgh radio about how people are like, I wouldn't be mad if they
what else do
traded
you have to
TJ.
give up to get something to reset your franchise?
Him, that's it.
Yeah. If you want to make a big splash, is Pickens a free agent or is he another
He has
guy?
one more. He has one more year, but like they're saying, the trade market for him is like we'd get like a 3rd round pick.
Probably because of his attitude and the way that
Yeah.
he handles himself. But I think he's a great player as well. Do you guys think there's any chance Myles Garrett stays in the North? I saw rumors of that. I personally don't think so.
I think
especially with
I think
trade
the Browns have
aspect.
made a lot of dumb decisions. They would be so stupid to leave him in the AFC North.
Imagine he
What
goes to the
Browns move?
Ravens.
It
Could
would
you
be a
imagine
Browns
the
move,
NFC
though.
Raven? That'd be insane.
How Browns would that be? I saw the Bengals. The Bengals are big.
I was
on
just
it.
gonna say the Bengals, Bills, and Commanders are the favorites to
Huff,
land.
one spot that you keep talking about though, and you kept saying it all year long, they need to rebuild their
Detroit.
defense. Is the Lions? They got to make a move at some point. Especially after losing their DC and their OC, they got to do something to pump. The tires back up.
good comparison for this, at least what I thought of in recent past, was obviously the Steelers didn't go to an AFC Championship that year, but that was when we had Ben and they brought in Minkah Fitzpatrick. They traded a 1st round pick that year for Minkah Fitzpatrick. Minkah came in, made an immediate impact. I think that's exactly what the Lions need to do. Give up your 1st round pick, your 2nd round pick, whatever you have to do to bring him in. Pair him with Aiden Hutchinson, who's going to be healthy. They're going to lose to Darius Smith this offseason. That would be a huge upgrade to that defense.
That's honestly, that's somewhere where I could see your boy TJ Watt going. To be honest with you,
I wouldn't mind that either.
Yeah, you love the Lions. That's why.
It's not like I said. I don't want them to trade Watt. If they do, massive if there, you better get the right package back.
What would it take? What would you be
massive
happy with?
Seats in Pittsburgh right now, and it's him.
What would you be happy with?
Like I don't even know what guys are going for. Like sometimes I see like. For me, like I would think you could get at least a 2nd round for Pickens, but his attitude's the problem there. They're saying 3rd. I would think you could get at least a 3rd for Kupp. They're saying like 5th round for Cooper Kupp. That's all they want. Like, it's making me worried. Like TJ's not the most healthy. Like he's not injured. I wouldn't say he's injury prone, but he's definitely had an injury history.
I'd hold on.
I would be upset with anything less than at least a 1st round pick. Maybe I'd want more than that.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think he's got 2 firsts anymore, but like a 1st and a 2nd, maybe.
In the rumors I saw, it would be the Patriots giving up the 4th overall pick to get him.
That's the thing. If we're just getting a 1st overall pick, it would have to be like a guaranteed top 10 pick.
10,
yeah.
You'd have to be able to play so we can go get Abdul Carter and then get him on a nice
exactly.
contract.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of good rumors.
I would actually really like that.
We'll keep you guys advised as we hear a lot more in the trade rumor mill. But we're all eyes on the Super Bowl. It's going to be a great one. I'm hyped up. This is going to be a great matchup. Like we said before, 2 great rosters on paper. So expect some great plays, some heated contests, especially with the 2 fan bases we have here. Just think about the way they would go crazy in Philly if they ended up getting the bowl over Mahomes. But then think about the same
last thing I wanted to say that you kind of just alluded to it. I saw on ESPN today they were debating where does Jalen Hurts rank if he wins this Super Bowl against guys like Burrow, Lamar, Allen, guys that haven't been able to beat Mahomes.
I think he's still behind them, but obviously a lot of people would shoot him up there with a Super Bowl win. How can you not? But the fact that he has Saquon Barkley at his hip, and then he has A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith as weapons, and the loaded defense, I mean, you could argue it because Super Bowls are the only thing that matters, but I think talent-wise, you got to go with
I don't think anyone's going to compare talent. I'm saying, like, legacy.
Yeah, lore. Yeah, legacy immediately bumps you up because that would make him, 3 behind Matt Stafford, maybe?
Yeah. I don't know if it takes him past your boy Lamar if he gets the 3rd MVP, but as far as...
Lamar, Allen, Burrow are the 3 that are right behind Patrick Mahomes.
Burrow, the only one that's actually been to a Super Bowl, which is still crazy.
One guy you can argue, too, that's right there in that realm behind those 3 we named, but we'll have to see a lot more. The jury's still out, is Jaden Daniels, because that season he put together was tremendous.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, that's going to do it for our NFL segment. Super Bowl 59, Sunday, February 9th. Like I said, New Orleans, Louisiana, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time kick on Fox. Make sure you're staying tuned for our live stream on Sunday. We'll be going through all of our favorite plays on this game, kind of recapping everything we said today. That's basically going to do it. Super Bowl 59. We'll see you guys on Sunday for our live stream. We're going to touch on some of these NBA trade deadline moves, some NHL, college basketball, and a little bit of golf as we had some in the past weekend with the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Stick around for that, and we'll get right into that. All right, we are back for our NBA segment of our podcast this week. Obviously, we talked the Super Bowl, everything Super Bowl 59. The NBA trade deadline is Thursday at 3 p.m. of this week. When you're listening to it, it will be today. We might have some more shocking trades coming. Obviously, the rumors of Kevin Durant possibly getting moved. We'll touch on Jimmy Butler here. But the one that had the NBA world absolutely in shock Sunday morning as the news broke that the Dallas Mavericks were sending Luca Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round pick. What do you think this trade means for the Lakers going forward, as well as Dallas? Dallas said they did the trade as more of a win-now kind of move, bringing in Anthony Davis. They addressed their issues with the defensive side of the ball. They have, I feel like now, a million centers. Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, Gafford, P.J. Washington. They just have a bunch of big front court guys. What do you think about Dallas? What does this make? Does this make the Lakers contenders immediately? How do you assess this trade? Ace, start us out.
Yeah, I mean, first off, I would never trade Luca Doncic. That's just blasphemy to me. The new face of the league, at least one of them, perennial MVP favorite, brought you right to the brink, the best that your team's seen in a while since
I
Dirk.
believe he's a 5-time All-NBA in 7 years.
But the biggest thing that it jumps out to me is this means they were not re-signing him in the offseason, so you might as well offload him now and get something. Anthony Davis, a very, very, very nice piece to come in. They got some nice
I don't want to cut
assets.
you off. The Mavs also said they were told that Luca wasn't planning on signing.
Exactly. So you got to cut your ties. And as obviously it's shocking to the whole world, and everybody's like, this is crazy. They're nuts for this. But if they knew that wasn't happening, you might as well get something great while you can. We saw Mookie Betts trade from different sport and they ended up not getting too much for it. You might as well get something for your superstar, all-world player while you can. You get Anthony Davis, one of the best players in the league. Pairing him with Kyrie Irving will be nice. They got some nice assets with it. Meanwhile, the Lakers, I mean, this makes them immediate contenders. Yeah, there was talks of him being overweight. Yeah, he just bought that expensive mansion out in Dallas, but now he's going to play with one of the greatest basketball players of all time in LeBron James, and he is bringing a whole nother dynamic. He could lead a team by himself. Now with LeBron with him, I think they still might make another move here. They need another big guy, in my opinion. Surprised they didn't try and bring back Lively with him or someone else like that. But maybe they just saw Luka.
I thought Gafford would have been a great piece, like a guy that doesn't need the ball, but he's great on the defensive end of the floor.
But the fact that you bring in Luka Doncic
it doesn't matter,
especially to the historic franchise that is the Los Angeles Lakers. It's going to be great to see him rocking 77. Prolongs LeBron's Lakers career, keeps that window a little bit more open for LeBron, and the window for the Lakers is going to be open for a while now, especially since they'll be able to extend him, in my opinion. That's just going to raise his stardom too. The star power he's going to be able to bring playing for the most recognizable team in the league outside of the Celtics. Is just off the charts. It's just a great move, in my opinion. Anytime you see him out there, you give up whatever it takes.
Beak, how'd you feel about that trade?
To be honest, I think Dallas I didn't know what Dallas was thinking. It's basically the equivalent of you trading, like Patrick Mahomes getting traded to the Jets. Like, why are you trading I get it if you're not going to re-sign him, but like the player's done so much for you, and it's not like they were terrible last year. They went to the finals, for crying out loud. And lost again. Obviously, they lost against the Celtics, but it's not like Dallas was a horrible team. And the whole exaggeration of him being 270 pounds, that was probably some cooked up BS, because I saw the intro video of him landing in LA. He didn't look 270 pounds to me. But
yeah.
This sets up LA for their future, and it's a win now. And honestly, I'd probably sprinkle the plus 1,700 while you can, because if they keep winning, those odds are going to slowly go down.
You get them in the playoffs too. If they're able to survive a play-in or whatever the hell it is come end of the season, they get into a playoff series. You have two killers like LeBron James and Luka Doncic.
And there's a chance they could get like a young Rockets team in the first round.
Yeah, and there's a chance, Huff, like we said, I think a Beak's right. You sprinkle out now, there's a chance that they add someone else too. You see those odds dip even more. I think now is a great time to buy in on that Beak like that take. Celtics.
I think they're
fine
going
with
to get Miles Turner. I think that's the one name floating around that makes sense for the Lakers. They need a big man. They obviously just traded away Anthony Davis. Miles Turner, the Pacers kind of having a inconsistent season, you could say. Lost to the Blazers last night, but that Blazers team's been very pesky. They're not on a 5-game win streak. But Indiana, they've said they've been looking to move on from Miles Turner. I think that would be a great fit for the Lakers. But obviously Luca, getting LeBron, one of my favorite players of all time, getting another one of my favorite players of all time, and Luka Doncic out there. Lakers, I'm buying all the stock on the Lakers. I think LeBron is going to do everything he can to get that additional piece that they need. I do not think the Lakers are done. They will make another move before tomorrow at 3 p.m. I can almost guarantee it. If not, they will have one of the biggest NBA off seasons this coming year, this summer. But I'm very excited for what you're going to see out of Luka and LeBron. Two players that obviously you've heard LeBron, his high praise of Luka over the past however many years, picking him in all those all-star drafts and he wanted Luka to wear the LeBron shoe. He wanted him to be his main athlete. So those two have a special connection. I'm excited to see it on the court, and no better team to do it with than the Lakers. Looks like those Showtime Lakers could be making a comeback here. But couple other big trades to touch on. Another team that I'm big on, the San Antonio Spurs, went out and got De'Aaron Fox from the Sacramento Kings in a 3-team trade that includes Fox, Jordan McLaughlin going to San Antonio. The Sacramento Kings received Zach LaVine, Sidi Sissoko, and 3 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks. The Bulls received Kevin Huerter, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, and their own 2025 pick via San Antonio. I was going to say, how far do you think this Fox and Wemby duo can go? I talked about this last week, the urgency for the Spurs to go out and make this trade and get him that piece. Ace, what do you think? I'm obviously a little biased. I think this makes the Spurs a playoff team.
Yeah, I think it makes them a playoff team. I still think this isn't their year.
Play-in, playoff, what I mean.
I think for the future, though, this is a massive move, especially if they're able to keep Fox around. We kept saying all year, imagine they add someone else to San Antonio. Imagine they add someone else.
And they got to keep Stephon Castle. The biggest thing when this trade was talking is
they were
going to have to trade Stephon Castle.
And what's nice, though, is Fox coming in with some playoff pedigree, considered a veteran on this team, but still youthful in his age as well. It's a great pickup. And another thing in this deal, Zach Levine, however you say it, they've been talking about moving him from the Bulls for a while. Never thought it was ever actually going to get done. And now he's been moved on to the Kings. And that's a very strong team out in the West, too. We've seen what they've been able to do in past years. They brought in Sabonis. Now they bring in Levine. That team is going to stay strong as well. Two nice powerhouses in the West get a little bit stronger. I think for years to come, we're going to see them keep continuing to evolve.
So here's the one thing that obviously I was very excited for the Spurs to get Fox. Here's the one thing I thought of in this trade. Kings, just listen to this list of what they got for De'Aaron Fox. Zach LaVine, Sissoko, a bench role player, young player, 3 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks.
That's crazy, man.
And the Mavericks got AD, Christie, and 1 first in 5 years.
But for a guy who was only on the contract for the end of this year. That's the thing you have to remember. But
the Lakers wouldn't have traded for Luca if they didn't know he's going to re-sign there.
But I agree with you. I mean, there's so many trades. You see this with the Celtics all the time. What they ended up getting for Marcus Smart, for some of these other guys they shipped out.
Even back further, Garnett, Pierce, when they shipped all those guys to Brooklyn, robbed Brooklyn's future.
It seemed like they were just like pressing the panic button, hoping something would fall through. And they saw Anthony Davis, and they were like, he is a superstar in his own right. But,
do you even remember the Paul George trade?
Yeah, I mean, when he brought in all those picks for OKC.
How is Luca only drawing 1 pick?
Crazy, but Anthony Davis is a perennial all-star.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
NBA champion, Hall of Famer, 10-time
really
all-star.
Win now because I'm excited to see him and Kyrie play together. I really am.
Yeah. That's the spin zone I've had on this.
Kyrie, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis. I mean, who would have thought like 5 years ago?
I saw someone say whenever there was the rumors of Durant going back to Golden State, the Warriors kept saying, they're interested in adding another star. They're interested in adding another star. And it was a meme. It was like the star we all want. It was like a Golden State page. It was like the star we all want. It was a picture of Kevin Durant. And said the star we're going to get. And it was Klay Thompson in a Mavs jersey. I was laughing at that. I was like, I could definitely see the Warriors be like, fuck it. Just bring him back. We'll do what the Penguins are doing. Just let the trio run it out. Let them grow old together and retire together. But I don't know. I still think Golden State will make a move. But we had
Butler, I think, will probably be moved at some point.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll touch on that one next here. Today we had a big one with the Milwaukee Bucks finalizing a trade to send Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, in a pick swap to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Kyle Kuzma, Patrick Baldwin Jr., and a second round draft compensation.
Crazy to see Middleton leave, huh?
Yeah, I thought that he's been kind of injury prone. Hasn't been
Yeah,
playing
he's
his best
past his
basketball.
prime.
He's an aging piece that you can move
But
to
it's
a younger
great to
team.
get Kuz back to a big time team because we saw how great he was with the Lakers, how great he's been on his own. I think he's one of the top players. Really came onto the scene after not being a highly touted prospect out of the draft, really making a name for himself in
Summer
the
League
league.
MVP.
Yeah, making a name for himself in the league, and now he's really stepping up on the scene. A great piece for the Bucks, who are a top 3 team in the East, in my opinion, and a threat to the Celtics in the East. A great addition there, another scoring threat, and I think he brings a lot to the table. I like this move all around.
Does this make the like? Did you view the Bucks as contenders before this? Because I didn't.
Not after coming into the season, I thought if they were fully healthy and played to their potential, they would be the top threat to the Celtics. But they've dealt with a lot of injuries this year too, and getting a change of pace from Middleton to Kuzma, the younger guy there, I think that's a good third option. And if Dame and Giannis can stay healthy throughout a playoff run, they can give a lot of teams fits. A healthy Giannis can do that on his own, but now with some secondary scoring options,
Yeah,
kind of
I,
reminds me of what they did.
I
when
still think they're the 4th best team in the East.
Who do you think's the third? The Knicks.
In no order: Cavs, Celtics, Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, I think that personally the Bucks are the scariest to the Celtics. I know everybody likes the Knicks and the Cavs because they're great teams.
I agree. I agree with what you just said there. If you're a Celtics fan, the one team out of those you don't want to see is Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think Giannis is just the biggest game changer. I think Giannis and Jokic are the 2 guys in each conference that can game break on their own.
Yeah. And then you kind of alluded to it. Jimmy Butler has informed the Golden State Warriors he does not plan on signing an extension with them, removing them from the list of potential trade suitors, likely removing them from the list of potential trade suitors. Butler has made it known that he would like to play for the Suns, and the Suns have had issues trying to move on from Bradley Beal. Do you see a trade happening in this complex deadline scenario? Obviously, we've heard, I kind of said, Durant, it could get moved. They're saying Durant now could go to Miami in a trade that would send Butler back to Phoenix. That would be crazy. I would love to see Kevin Durant go down there to South Beach with Hero, Hawkes, some of those young pieces, Bam Adebayo.
Watch them move Booker instead. They're always talked about moving all those guys on the Suns. I mean, it just never worked out there. We all saw the writing on the wall when those guys all went to Phoenix too. We were like, this isn't going to work out.
Yeah.
They just need to blow it up.
It was the Brooklyn Nets 2.0.
Yeah.
Like they had their good games. They had their playoff moments last year. I mean, they let a young, inexperienced Minnesota team beat them. They haven't really been healthy. It's truly the Brooklyn Nets 2.0 what we're seeing with this Phoenix Suns team. But I honestly, unless the Kevin Durant trade to Miami happens, I don't think Butler gets moved. I've been very vocal about how I can't stand Jimmy Butler in this whole scenario. I kind of liked him as a player. This has made me just absolutely not like him. What he's kind of picking and choosing. He's never really won anything in the NBA, or I shouldn't say really. He never has won anything in the NBA. He's bounced team to team the past couple of years. Obviously, he's found a home with the Heat, but doing this again, he did it with Philly, did it with Minnesota. I just can't imagine a team looking at him right now in this scenario being like, that's the kind of guy our team needs to bring in right now. Like if you're a young Rockets team, you're the Spurs looking for another star. Like that's the last thing you want to bring in right now is a guy like Jimmy Butler, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. You just blow up what you've built there. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think a team like that would make the move. I think
the Warriors are the only team that he fits with.
Yeah, and
I guess the Suns because they're not contenders, but like
yeah, teams that need a whole new rebrand, not a team that's up and coming with a strong.
I think if he wants to win gold, he would have said he should have never said the thing about Golden State, and he would have went there.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to follow. Would you be surprised if Butler doesn't get moved at all? That'd be funny.
I wouldn't be. I honestly have said I would like the Heat to be like, fuck you, we really don't care. We're just going to suspend you, and how about you just don't play for anybody? You know what I mean? Like, if you want to act this way, we have the final say. We could just suspend you indefinitely without pay and not play you the rest of the year. Which Butler probably would like that if he doesn't want to play for him, but like, don't kind of like what the 49ers did when Devondre Campbell quit. Everyone was like, oh, this guy's going to get cut immediately. It's like, no, we're going to suspend him till the end of the year so he has to sit on the sidelines and watch without getting paid. Like, I don't think Pat Riley's the kind of guy you want to mess with, and I could see him make that move.
Yeah, I agree with you. That would be funny to see. But I think there's some more dominoes that are going to fall. We're going to be talking about in the coming days. I think there's some big names, even some that we haven't talked about. Those are the ones that always surprise you, especially like Luca Doncic. I mean, that just burst out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then briefly to touch on our power rankings for the week in the NBA, Knicks 5, Grizzlies back in there at number 4, Boston Celtics at 3, Cavs at 2. This was before the Celtics beat the Cavs last night in Cleveland. And Oklahoma City sitting at that 1 spot. Oklahoma City still that dominant number 1 seed. They've been the best team in the NBA all regular season. We've seen some fluctuation in the East. The Knicks have come in and out of this top 5. Celtics and Cavs have been there, I think, all season. Grizzlies, one of those fun teams out in the West. The Rockets, Grizzlies, Nuggets. We've seen a lot of those teams float in and out of here. I think this is a good list. Celtics probably going to be a 2 next week past those Cleveland Cavaliers. But I think Cleveland's a very good team. They showed a lot of fight in that game to come back and make it a game. They were down 18 a lot, 15 in the fourth quarter. I think it got to 13 late in the fourth. Cleveland went on a 9-2 run to make it a game. They just they're not the flashiest team, but they're definitely a very good team to win. They'd be a scary team come the playoffs. They're kind of, I look at them like Milwaukee. They're a good team. They could win a playoff series. Are they going to go to the NBA Finals? No shot. That's how I feel about the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, if you guys have anything you want to touch on in the NBA, if not, we'll touch on the NHL power rankings, college basketball, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we've covered it well. Some of these big moves that are remaining for the NBA is going to really pivot some of those teams that are sitting in the 6 to 10 range that can really push for it. The league's a lot deeper than it has been. You know, another name that I'd like to keep an eye on too, didn't say this, I would like to see LaMelo Ball get moved eventually. Trae Young, those are two guys I've been waiting for to get out of their situations. Will it happen this year? Maybe not. But I think in due time, those two names will be off the spots there. Anyway.
I think that's a good move for the Hornets right now, like an all-time sell high on LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, because you'd get now is a great point where you can get a big return for him. I saw some of the packages people would give up, and it's a lot, but it'd be worthwhile. I think he's a superstar. He's been showcasing it. But yeah, like you said before, Cavs, Knicks, Celtics, Bucks in the East. And I know that the Pacers are kind of pesky. And then Joel Embiid, he finally got his big payday once again. They just extended him for 3 more years at that supermax level. So maybe if he's healthy, they can stick around too. But I think it's a 4-team race in the East, and the West is pretty wide open. Don't really believe in some of those teams like the Grizzlies or the Kings or teams like that to really make a big push. But I do think they'll be hanging around in playoff series. But it's going to be the big dogs once again out West.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me an NBA Finals prediction.
Lakers.
Lakers Celtics.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be the homer
for
pick
TV. Luca Doncic, LeBron James against the defending champions for the 2 most championships in NBA history. That'd be a great one.
Didn't you guys pass them last year with 18? The Lakers have 17, so they would tie you.
Imagine the narratives, how TV would go crazy.
We all know sports is rigged now, so that's what the NBA will do. So
yeah. That's going to do it for NBA. We'll probably touch on a few more. If we have any big trades, we'll touch on them Sunday for our Super Bowl live stream at the end there just to get our opinions out. But we have the NHL power rankings of the Carolina Hurricanes at 5, Florida Panthers at 4, Dallas Stars at 3, Washington Capitals at 2, and the Winnipeg Jets at 1. Pretty solid list here. Winnipeg moving back up to that 1 spot. Capitals sliding down. Dallas have kind of solidified themselves in this top 5. The defending Cup champs at 4. And a very, very highly contender in the Carolina Hurricanes this year, sliding in at number 5. Ace, how are you feeling about this list?
Yeah, love the list there. Those teams picking up. Look at those Hurricanes adding Mikko Rantanen and jumping into the top 5. Not too surprising to see there. 2 teams that just missed our top 5 are the Edmonton Oilers, who have been on fire. Connor McDavid's boys starting to play some great hockey after that cup run last year. Vegas Golden Knights, it's a team you can never count out too. I mean, they're just on fire. And then look at what the Dallas Stars are doing. The Vegas Golden Knights set the precedent with the LTIR structure. Miro Heiskanen, Tyler Seguin sitting in that spot now, and they're looking to add even more firepower to that offense. They added Mikkel Granlund. They added Cody Ceci. Those are some big moves. I think there's a lot more to come in the NHL. Watch the trade deadlines heat up there, especially around the 4 nations time. My Bruins and the Rangers facing off right now as we're recording. Those 2 teams need to pick up their play, but they have been as of late to get back into the playoff hunt. A lot of teams like the Senators, the Blue Jackets playing good hockey, the Red Wings, Canadians even in the mix. That East is a barn burner there. Got to keep your eyes on that one. Tampa Bay Lightning right there as well. Meanwhile, out West, we've seen the Minnesota Wild slide. That's a team that was very strong. A lot of people, they were in our rankings for a while, if you remember that. They've dropped down a big time there. Other teams out West, Los Angeles Kings starting to play some good hockey. But there's going to be some moves that are made coming up. Especially, like I said, these teams that circumvent the LTIR and the salary cap there. I know it's rising tremendously next year. That's another thing to keep into account with all these trade deadline moves. With the rising salary cap in the upcoming year, people can make moves that wouldn't really seem too smart fiscally, but with the new money coming in, and it's a big number, it can change a lot going in.
Absolutely. Yeah. College basketball, there's not really much to touch on there. We have not been doing too great on the college basketball card, looking to turn that around. Some big games tonight. These will be over by the time you're listening. Obviously, this weekend, a great slate before the Super Bowl. We have some great games on Saturday, so make sure you're tuning in or staying tuned for all of our plays in the world of college basketball, looking to get back on track there. Like I said, our live stream Sunday before the Super Bowl, 9:30, 10 a.m. tentative time there. We'll let you know when we're going to be officially going live. We'll post that on all of our socials so you don't miss that for Super Bowl 59. Other than that, thanks for listening. Abik, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Always happy to have you on. Always welcome back. Reoccurring guest. We'll be back again soon. Think it's your maybe second, third Super Bowl discussing with us. If not a couple. Is it? I'm trying to think. I was trying to think when I texted you. I know you were on for another one, right?
Yeah, I think I was on for the first Chiefs-Eagles.
First Chiefs and Eagles one. Yeah, that's what I thought. But all right, yeah. We'll see you guys Sunday for our live stream. Stay tuned to our social media. HitTheBooks.pod on Instagram. HitTheBooks_pod on Twitter. For any free plays out there going in the NHL, NBA, college basketball, and leading up to Super Bowl Sunday. We will catch you on Sunday. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you then.